What's up, world? What's up, world? Karmic Daz 85 here, and I'm trying to get pulled up on the page so I can check you guys' comments as I'm going live here. It's not even showing me my own stuff. There we go. All right. So I'm in the comments now, and I'll be able to respond to your comments. It's gonna be just me tonight, and I don't have any current events, and we're going into season 3 here now. Hopefully, you guys have my tags. If not, they are going to be located a lot of times in the descriptions of the videos, especially if you go to the YouTube. And they're also going to be we provided in other videos, previous videos. I think we did like 2.5 years of tagging each video with our tags, so we're probably going to slow that down a little bit, start changing up format a little bit. Let's see, no current events. What's up, Ant? What's up, Ant? We had a good discussion the other day. Hey, all love, bro. All love. Yeah, I don't have any current events. I'm trying to think of current events, really, but nothing really comes to mind that sticks out too much. Joy Reid got let go from MSNBC. I know a lot of our people watch Joy Reid and are followers of what she's got going on. She hasn't specified her next move yet, but I'm pretty sure she'll find something to land on her feet somewhere. Don't pray on anybody's downfall like that, but did kind of see that coming. It's just the climate we're in right now. A lot of people who are seen as race baiters are probably going to be started getting the back burner and put on the axe as we continue to go forward with this new administration. Let's see. Today's topic, I wanted to talk about starting a family or starting a business. To a lot of people, those might be two separate areas. But as far as like planning out, the longevity, plotting out the things that you're going to be needing inside yourself, the things that you're going to need to know, and what to not necessarily what to expect, but how you want to structure building either both your business or family. A lot of those things are interconnected. What's up, Kurt? Welcome, welcome. I seen you the other day. You had to get that damn pizza, didn't you? Was it good, though? That's the question. Was the pizza good? I mean, I figure it's good because you didn't want to leave the town without it. But, just got to make sure. Oof. But only the business of starting a family or starting a business. Again, a lot of people will see those as two separate things, and for a long time I did too. And it's until you see the work for one. And for me personally, it was a sorry, I'm not sure if it was trying to remember if it was a podcast or a book I read. No, it was a podcast. Basically the idea of starting a business and running a business, building that business and scaling your business is a lot like caring for a child, right? So when I started to look at it like that, I started to bring in more business. Started to prioritize and have discipline with my business. And those are two things that you got to have with family as well: prioritization skills and discipline, especially if you're the man supposed to lead your family. Sorry, I don't shit get in my mouth. But, I did write a few points down kind of quickly that I wanted to talk about, cover on both of those fronts. So either whether you're starting a family or starting a business, you want to visualize what you're wanting out of that, what you're wanting the family to be like. Same thing with your business. You want to visualize what you want your business to be like. Part of that visualization process is actually, building that. Am I going to have 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids? One kid going to be taller, or one going to like games? A lot of times we don't think about these things, but these are things we should consider. especially like with the parents who live vicariously through their children. It's like that happens a lot of times in sports. Like you want them to be so good, you want to see your genes express so much that we forget what they want to do. I was a victim of that myself. I was a big sports guy, you know, and like high school, I don't really see much to do for students in high school but play sports, and of course read, learn, study, right? So with the boys particularly, I wanted them all. I wanted them all to be in the sports, but the boys, I figured, I wanted them to be more in the sports to get in the world of men as they transition into the world of men. But the oldest was not into sports like that. He was more into the gaming and programming side. And it took me, I'd say, 6 months to like a year, maybe a little bit longer, to realize, you know, he's not a sports guy. No matter, you know, what type of convincing or anything I could say to him, he's just not a sports guy. Granted, again, I was stepdad, but still, it's something I was trying to instill in the boys. And it was an expectation of me that if they're boys, they're going to want to play sports. And that's not necessarily the case. So visualize your family. It's for women too. You want to visualize the family you have. So you kind of already have the idea of the person you're looking for, the person that's going to match you. A lot of times that is our issues. We want companionship and partnership and you know, intimacy so bad that a lot of times, I'm not going to say we jump at the opportunity, but we take the first thing that looks good or feels good. So overall seems good. Sometimes it's not good. Sometimes we miss our blessings. You know, it's kind of in between there. I thought it was an ash. My beard is kind of shiny. Yeah, sometimes we miss our blessings. Sometimes we dodge a bullet, right? It just depends on where you're at in your journey. It was something I was saying earlier in regards to a video my guy Aaron posted, saying, I started out my response by saying a lot of our issues in these relationships comes from not knowing who we are. Know thyself, right? So if you know yourself, you know what meshes with you, what you don't mesh with, you know, what you do mess with, and what doesn't mesh with you. So it should make it a lot easier to find. Well, I addressed that too. It should make it a lot easier to come in connection with another person as opposed to finding another person. I know a lot of times people who've been together for a long time say that they found the love. Like, I'm not sure you went looking for it. A lot of times it just falls into your lap for the ones who are, you know, got the longevity and whatnot. So you make that connection, right? Now, part and parcel of that is when you're visualizing it, you know, again, you don't just set the goal. You visualize the goal, what it actually looks like in reality. Part and parcel of that is you have to do that in order to have a destination to go to, right? I'm going to use this analogy. Sometimes you do get in your car, you hop in, you have nowhere to go. In the physical realm, right? So you're not driving to a physical destination, you have more of a psychic, mental destination that you're trying to get to. On the other side, in the physical realm, when you get in the car, you're trying to get somewhere. You don't get in the car just to go nowhere, right? So same thing with you building a family or building a business. You're not doing it just to go nowhere. If you don't have the destination, you're just aimlessly moving along. Granted, the movement is better than no movement, but at some point you want to get that organization, that pedagogy, in order to build that foundation to build what you're trying to do. That's where I'm at. I'm in the building phase. Well, I'm more in the scaling. I'm in between the building and scaling phase. We did pretty good numbers last year. Hoping to do real good numbers this year with my brother and my sister's boyfriend helping out. And I'm going to take these bonus checks from this job I got to bring on employees. So again, I'm trying to build a big business here. I also want to branch out into a multimedia corporation here with the crew. So using these same tips for myself in order to build these businesses and maybe eventually in another family down the line. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that plays out. Let's see. You also have to understand the effort that's required in both building a business and building a family. Again, I said at the beginning of the episode, I spoke on prioritization. That's a real big thing with the business. I know a lot of us like to go out. We like to party. What's the word? You like to get your release, your wind down, your relaxation period. What I found myself doing, I found myself finding that release and relaxation in the things that I do. So that's why they say it's important if you're going to like start a business or build a career or anything like that. Make it something that you actually like doing. That way, now you don't have to go to the club to find a way to enjoy your time, because what you're doing to build your business is enjoyable to you. Granted, there are the tedious parts, the paperwork, permits, insurance, making sure everybody's got what they need to do their job for the day. Customer, those are the tedious parts. But the freedom that's allotted to you in doing that, and not having to worry about who's setting your schedule, when, what are they going to do with your schedule, are they going to approve your PTO, things of that nature. The little knickknacks of a job, you don't have to worry about so much because it's all on you now. That's if you're able to or wanting to take that duty on. And a part of that comes from, I think I talked about this in a previous episode, the willpower. That's inside. That's all this. I don't want to get up in the morning. I'm tired. I didn't get any sleep last night. At the end of the day, there's somebody who got 2 hours of sleep. Guess what they did? They got up this morning, had their coffee, read their newspaper, and got to their business. So if life is a competition, you losing already. Now, me personally, with my job and building the businesses and stuff like that, I was averaging maybe 3.5, 4 hours of sleep a night for the past 3, maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years, honestly. And that was all in an effort to develop that willpower, that drive, that motor, that burning hot, the triple burner. In Eastern side note, in Eastern in Eastern religions or Eastern spirituality, your lungs, your heart, and your diaphragm, your sternum, this is your triple burner. And biologically speaking, this is where you generate your biochemical heat from that goes out to the rest of your body. So you got your head, you got your center mass, and some areas of your thighs that build heat. All that triple warmers, right? So that's what you typically when you're not wanting to get up, you don't have that burn in here. It's not on fire. Like that fire. You gotta cultivate that fire. Then you gotta keep it burning. That's the hard part, is to keep that fire burning, right? So the next thing I'm working on from that is the discipline. So I'm at the point now where I've set an alarm. I set a sleep alarm for 11 o'clock because I got to be up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. And, when you go to sleep at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's like a nap. So I take naps throughout the day. What's up, Byron? Welcome. What's up, Brian? Oh, you caught me at the beginning of the episode, finally. The chat is open, so anytime y'all want to throw in some of your comments, we'll chat with you. If you want to interject, got a story to tell, whatever, I'll provide it. We'll talk it out, try to find a way to get you on here, which I haven't figured out yet, but it's coming. But you just joined, and I'm talking about the similarities in building a business and building a family. A lot of people don't realize the effort that goes into both is really very similar, right? So right now I'm talking about discipline. I was just saying that in order to build the business, I had to develop my willpower, and I was staying up late purposefully to make sure I got things done. I was getting maybe 2, 3 hours of sleep at night for the past 4 or 5 years, right? So now what I'm doing, I'm trying to work on the discipline part. So what I'm doing, my first step here is I'm going to be setting a sleep timer. I've got it set for 11 o'clock, so I have like an hour and 15 minutes of awake time left before I got to go to sleep, right? And that's in order to make sure I get my body back aligned with a regular sleeping time. In order to, and also to kind of quell my workaholic tendencies, because that's also part of in developing that drive. I developed a workaholic tendency, right? So I want to kind of quell that, because eventually I do want a family, and I don't want to take away from one or the other too much, right? I want to be able to prioritize those things. So I figured with proper discipline, I'll be able to properly prioritize the things that need to be prioritized. My next step in the discipline process is to come up with a set schedule for the podcast, the skits, the lawn service, and all the paperwork that goes in with all of that, right? And make sure I stay on top of that, because if I'm going to bring people in, like I'm going to get a personal assistant. If I'm going to bring people in, I've got to be on my game in order that they can see that we're all supposed to be on our game, right? And it's the same thing as being the man of the household. If I'm not on my game, I can't expect everyone in my household to be on their game, right? And it's like I said in an episode we did earlier last year, about the middle of last year, what I determined that most of the problems that we have in relationships are the man's, whether it's you as the man or the father of either you or your significant other, right? Comes back to the man most of the time. Now I'm not going to leave out accountability, because we all are accountable and responsible for ourselves at the end of the day. But my reasoning on that, when it comes to our significant others as men, typically we're with women, my reasoning on that is, if your woman didn't have a father or some a male man figure to instill self accountability and self responsibility into her, then it's his fault. So again, it goes back to us. We didn't do what we needed to do as men, right? And with that being said, that's a part of the effort, right? You discipline your willpower. All of this takes effort, lots of it. And with that being said, you got to be able to get out of yourself. What I learned in business, I should have used in my marriage. Not gonna lie to y'all. So when it comes to business, if you're stuck in yourself, you're gonna take that no really hard, and you're gonna be afraid to go out and seek a yes. That's across the board, right? People might not like your service. One day they might take your service or your product, and the next day they might go with somebody else's and not, mess with yours anymore. That's all a part of the game. And if that's going to sway you, then odds are you're probably thinking about why aren't they buying my product? Or why aren't they using my service? And when you're doing business, you can't think that way. Because if you are truly providing a service, then it should be optional that they can either use your service or not use your service. That shouldn't stop you from providing an excellent service regardless, right? And besides, they might use someone else's service. They might be, or shopping around services or products to see who's the best. And if you provided them the best service or product out of all their shopping, guess who they're going to come back to? Right? So it's all a give and take. Life is all a give and take. Like I said, it's the great poetry of life, right? One thing that I use, a technique that I use, and I know you hear me using the word "I" a lot, which is crazy with what I'm going to follow this by. I was reading, I can't remember the book, it's either the Tao Te Ching or Dhammapada or Upanishads, one of those books. But what I took from it, no, it was actually the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. The Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. So one of the things I took from that was to eliminate the word "I" from your vocabulary. Right? It's a practice I did for a few months, and it kind of reprograms the ego a little bit. So instead of "I'm driving the car," somebody says, "Hey, what are you doing?" "I'm driving the car." Right? They can imply "I." "I" is almost implied. "What up, Mike?" "I" is almost implied, but with you not saying the "I" again, it's that rewiring. So Mike, talking about right now, how to get out of yourself, and one of the things that I did to practice getting out of the ego was to eliminate the word "I" from my vocabulary. So the example I used was when somebody says, "Oh, what are you doing?" "I'm driving the car," right? "I." But instead of saying "I'm driving the car," "What are you doing?" "Driving the car," right? Or let's say you're hungry. "Hey, you hungry?" Or how are you feeling? Hungry. Do you take the "I" out of it? Sometimes I would replace it with "It's hungry," right? Or yeah, hunger is there, right? So I'm not hungry, but hunger is there. It kind of it reprograms that ego a little bit, and you start catching yourself. Well, I started catching myself being a little more empathetic, for one, and a lot less self-centered. So I wasn't as reactive to things because you weren't attacking "I," right? So and that helps with the family, because women have emotions, time of the month, kids. They got all these influences inside and outside the home. It's all everywhere. Everybody's everywhere. Everybody's everywhere. But as the rock of the family, it's just like the rock of the business. You've got to be solid. You've got to be that foundation. Let's see. And I talked about service. So whether you're doing the business or running your family, you're providing a service. Being a father, a husband, all that, you're serving your family. You're making sure they're provided for, they're protected, and they're sheltered. Right? When you're running a business, you either have a product or a service that you're providing. And that product provides a service in your stay. Y'all are legion, huh? But we works too, because again, it gets you out of that self-centeredness. It is inclusive. It does include you though. So, but yeah, service. That product is a service and your stay, so it's a representative of you. So if you have a faulty product, what do you hear people say all the time? "I'm not buying nothing RCA no more. My damn speakers done blown. Man, fuck RCA. I'm going to Sony." Or "I can't deal with iPhone. I'm going to Android." Or "I can't deal with Android. I'm going to iPhone." Which I don't know why you would switch from an Android to an iPhone. It's crazy. Oh man. But yeah, either way it goes, you're providing a service. And you can provide horrible service on both accounts. And a lot of times, well, the difference between the two, your business, you can get reviews. Your family typically won't give you a review in the, They won't give you a review in the manner in which you would like to receive that review. Pink slips, you can get pink slips as well. You can get fired from your family. It's a little bit more difficult to get fired from your own business. That's a difference right there. So again, service. It's all service. Hey, you trying to get on? What is you trying to go live? You trying to hop in? You join? Let me see. It says it's adding. We're gonna see what's up. Sure. It's still. Are you coming through? You got like a request on your end? Yeah, it said I sent the invite. So guess it's just waiting on you to join in. It says ask you to join. If you accept, you'll join in the video or with audio only. Oh, well, why you you said your icon is up there, man. So I thought you was trying to hop on the vid, man. Let's see. The last thing I got right here. Be vulnerable, not weak. Not the same thing. Be vulnerable, not weak. So essentially what I'm saying is have empathy. If your family has a problem, allow them to bring it to you. Listen to them. What's up, Mike? You got me talking about we're talking about the similarities between starting a business and starting a family. And right now I'm getting into a little bit of how to maintain both. And I'm on the kind of my last point here is to be vulnerable. So but yeah, vulnerable but not weak, right? And the reason being is because you want, whether you're running a business or you're running your family, you want the people to be able to come speak to you and bring their problems to you. I won't say necessarily complain to you, because at some point we've got to get past the complaining and do something about it. But we want them to be able to bring those issues to you without feeling like there's going to be some type of repercussion, or that you're not listening to them, or you're just blowing them off, or it's just going one in, one out, one ear, one out the other, and they're just speaking to dead air, dead space, and wall, right? Again, with family, you get fired for that. Divorce, kids don't like you, stop talking to you, things of that nature. And when you're business, you become the avoided guy at work. Your employees necessarily can't fire you, but they sure can leverage you out of comfortability. Comfortability. Let me articulate a little bit more. I use my my didact. So yeah, some people, especially as guys, we like to think of that vulnerability as a weakness for people to prey upon. It's only when we wield it wrong in which it becomes a weakness. Vulnerability used properly actually draws people in, and if you play chess, when you draw people in, they kind of become your guards. They protect you. They become your front line. 48 Laws of Power. A lot of y'all in this chat, or a lot of y'all in this episode tonight, have read the 48 Laws of Power. So a lot of stuff I'm saying isn't new. What's up, man? What's up, man? So a lot of the stuff I'm saying isn't new to y'all, or really new to anybody, and it's not no realization that I came up with or anything like that. It's thousands of years old information. People have written about it, made movies about it, written books about it. Hence the 48 Laws of Power. So with that, the last little thing I'm going to leave off here is, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that service is probably the greatest thing we can do to help out our fellow man. Whether they take it in or not, it's still better to add that service been offered than to not ever had offered that service. And maybe I'm being a little self-centered here when I think about it this way, but I think back to the history of my life, and as I get older, I realize these things. I appreciate the effort a lot more now that I'm older and kind of on a track to do the same things. And sometimes I wonder, what if I hadn't heard these things, right? Would they click? Why didn't they click sooner? But again, I wasn't raised with my dad, right? So again, like I said earlier in the episode, a lot of things I rationed went back to it was man's fault. Now, as I got older, it became my fault why, or whether or not these things clicked and I grasped these things. And I understand that now. Again, part of the process of getting older, becoming more mature, and understanding things. But I'm running. That's it. Right? I think we've got about 45 minutes here. Appreciate y'all dropping in. Again, I didn't have any current events. I didn't have any tags. I've been doing that for a while now. You guys can check the previous videos. For a lot of y'all that have been watching, y'all do know the tags. You know where to get in contact with me. How to get in contact with me. We do have the group out there, free and open for anybody. Start your own conversation. I do watch all videos that are posted in the group on the group page, so that way I can make sure I'm communicating in regards to the information and knowledge that's put on the page. So, and I appreciate for everyone to do the same when they come to the page. On your page, you do whatever the hell you want on your own page. But again, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining Want to Talk About It podcast. Dominate your night, dominate your day. We'll catch you next time. This is February 24th, 2025. I'm going to say 2024. I'm out.